Hey there, Tony. I was just wondering if you were still away at the hardware store? Are you still not done doing everything that you had to? Just how long is this going to take?
I'm really sorry, Trish. The traffic has just been absolutely terrible. I literally just got to the store right now. But is everything okay? Do you need me to pick anything up for you?
Well, actually, since you asked, I think we do need more light bulbs for our foyer and other places around the house. I forgot to get extras last time, and now I think it's dead, so if you could get something for at least the foyer, that would be great.
Sure thing. I will be sure to do that.
Thank you, I really appreciate it. Otherwise, I don't really think that there's anything you need to get for me.
Okay then. Sounds good to me. By the way, I meant to tell you that I ran into our neighbor in the hall earlier today. The one who lives just a few doors down. Him and I just chatted a little this morning.
Oh, right. Are you talking about that guy who lives in his apartment by himself? That kind of young-looking guy? Is that the one that you're talking about?
Yup, that's the one. Do you think he lives alone? I've seen him with some girl before and I wasn't sure if they lived together.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that. But I'll see him sometimes around lunchtime walking around here. I wonder what that guy does for a living. I've actually wondered about that every time I see him. But anyways, what did the two of you talk about?
I was just asking him about his life a little. He told me that he works from home doing some kind of programming job, I guess. It basically sounded like he's a freelance, so his work schedule is just a little weird.
Well, that is a relief, at least. For a while, I was wondering if he was unemployed or super rich or something like that.
Well, either way, making that many assumptions about someone's life is kind of rude, don't you think?
I guess you're right. I probably shouldn't be thinking of others like that. But it's just that I see him almost every afternoon coming in and out, so you can't really blame me for making up stories in my head.
I suppose not. I guess I just didn't realize you enjoyed people watching so much is all. But, yeah, he was telling me that he actually gets up early to fish and comes back home in the afternoon. The whole reason I even said anything to him in the hallway was because I saw that he had a fishing rod.
Oh boy, well, I'm sure that you two got along just great during your little talk then, didn't you?
Pretty much, yeah. We talked a bit about fishing, and I think it was pretty easy to move to different topics from there. Then he opened up the cooler that he had with him to show me what he caught, and that was this huge tuna. I don't even know how he fit that in there.
Oh, really? He was out fishing tuna? Well, that's really something then, isn't it?
I guess he must know a really good spot to find them at. He even promised to take me to his fishing spot at some point in the future, so we ended up exchanging contact information.
Oh, wow. Well, it sounds to me like you made friends with our neighbor quite quickly if he's already offering to show you his secret fishing spot. Just be careful. You shouldn't be rushing to go out into the wilderness with some stranger you've just met.
You really think I should be that worried about him? I mean, he didn't seem like a scary guy to me. He was really nice, and I think he was just looking for a good fishing buddy. I think that's why he invited me out with him.
Well, I'm really glad that you had a good conversation with him, Tony, but it's not like you can tell a person's intentions just by talking to them once. You really should be more careful about who you're giving out your personal information to, really.
Well, it's not like I gave him my social security number or the pin to my debit card or anything like that. I really think that you're making too big of a deal over this.
Look, Tony, I'm just saying this because you go away on business trips a lot, which means that I'm home by myself a good portion of the time. So if someone were to put on a good face and try and befriend you just to find out when you might or might not be at home, well, it just makes me a little nervous is all. I mean, I really have no idea the kinds of people out there, and neither do you.
Okay, Trish, I understand why me talking about our lives to other people might make you nervous. I promise to be careful and keep a respectable distance between me and our neighbor, okay? Hey Trish, I'm really sorry about this, but my office just told me that I'll have to leave on a business trip next week. I know it's sudden, and I'm really sorry, but I'm just hearing about this now myself.
That really is sudden, even for your office. Did they say how long you were going to be away?
They said I was going to be gone something like a week.
Oh man, that really is a long time. Do you have enough business clothes for a whole week's worth of business? Do I need to go out and buy you anything?
No, I think I should be alright as long as I do some laundry at the hotel I'll be staying at. I'll just bring enough clothes to get through this. We should be fine, though.
Okay, well, just make sure that you give yourself enough time to make a list to write down everything that you need to pack. Then send it to me and I can help you find some of it.
I'll do that. Thanks a lot, Trish. I really appreciate you doing that. You're always there for me.
I think you're fine on underwear, but I was wondering if you thought you had enough undershirts to go under your button-ups. I don't mind going out and just getting you a 4-pack of white shirts or something like that. After all, I know the ones you have now are getting a little holey, no?
You really don't mind going out and getting me some new shirts while I'm here at work?
Of course not. It's not like I'm really doing much of anything at home. Maybe I should buy some new shoes, too. I don't want to say anything, but I thought they were looking quite scuffed when you went to work today.
Thank you so much for seeing all those little details that I'm just in too much of a hurry to see. I really appreciate it.
Of course. I'll get some things ready for your trip here before I go out and shop for you. I just know that if I leave everything to you, you'll forget something.
Well, I would be lying if I said that you didn't know me well, Trish.
I suppose that is why we're married to each other, right? But I guess that I know to do all this must mean that I'm getting used to all your business trips as well.
I know that I've already had about a dozen of them since we've gotten married. I'm sorry that I'm always on the road like this.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me, Tony. After all, it's your job asking you to do this, so you really don't have much choice. Besides, I think it's great that your job lets you travel so much. It's at least a silver lining for all the hard work you have to do.
Well, my boss was telling me that when he had to go on a bunch of trips back in his day, that his wife would always get so mad at him. So, I just wanted to make sure that you were okay with all the running around that I'm having to do.
I really am fine. Thank you so much for checking in with me, though. I do appreciate it.
You're really fine with all the business trips that I've had to go on?
Yes, of course, though I'm sure that your boss's wife was feeling lonely. I really don't get those kinds of feelings so easily.
Well, I'm just glad that you know how to keep yourself entertained while you're at home by yourself for so long.
Well, it's not that I don't also miss you while you're gone, you know. In fact, there are times that I get really bored while you're away, in fact.
Oh, really? Huh. I guess it just seemed like you always get a bit more chipper when you hear that I have to go.
Oh, do I? Well, I'm really sorry. It's not that I mean to be.
Especially packing my bag for me. You're always humming some song and have a smile on your face. Don't tell me that you actually like when I have to go away on business trips like this, because that might be going too far the other way.
Oh, come on, Tony, don't be ridiculous. I just like packing, that's all. There's just something about getting ready for a trip, even if it isn't mine, that makes me happy. But it's not like I'm happy because you're the one that's going to be going away.
You're right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have asked that. That was silly of me. But I'll be sure to call you every night from the hotel. And hopefully this week will just fly by and we'll be back together again.
Okay then, I'll start packing and getting things ready for you from here, okay? Have a good rest of your day and I'll see you soon.
Hey there, Tony. It's Sam. We talked the other day. I'm the neighbor that likes fishing, remember? I have something that I wanted to talk to you about, but is now a good time to text? Oh, Sam. How's it going? It's been a while since we ran into each other, hasn't it? I'm really sorry that I haven't been better about reaching out since we exchanged numbers. No, that's fine. You don't have to apologize for that. Of course. But, do you think that I could talk to you about something? Yeah, of course. What's up? Is something on your mind? Well, this is just a little awkward to say, but last night you were making a lot of noise, and it really was kind of inconsiderate of your neighbors. Especially given that, well, your wife was being really loud about just exactly what kind of physical activities you two were engaging in. So, I really don't mean to be this guy, but I just thought that you should know I can hear everything from where my apartment is, so you just might want to try and keep things down a little next time, at least out of respect for your neighbors. Physical activities we were engaging in? Are you talking about sex? Well, That's what I assumed two adults making those kind of noises at night would be doing, since you've just gone out and said it. But I just wonder if you really had to be that loud. I mean, I get that the mood can really strike people sometimes, but it was the middle of the night when people are trying to sleep. All I could hear were the screams and moans from some lady down the hall, and now that it's the next day, I'm exhausted.
But, wait a second. I'm on a business trip right now. Are you sure that you heard all of that coming from my apartment last night?
Yes, I am more than sure. I could hear just about everything. There's not a doubt in my mind where it was coming from.
But, I really don't understand. I've been out of town for a few days now, and my wife should be at home all by herself. I don't understand how there could be another man in the apartment.
Well, I know what I heard. It's a very small chance that I'm wrong about it. I really do feel that. Besides, it's not often that someone makes that much noise when they're handling business on their own, as it were.
But this... Oh my god. This can't be. Are you sure that the audio wasn't just coming from a video that might have been playing in my room or something? I mean, you're really sure that it was two real people in my apartment? Doing what you thought they were doing?
How can I put this? I stood outside your door thinking about knocking, and while I was out there, I could feel the floor outside literally shaking in tune with the banging noises from the inside of your apartment. So, I don't know if you've got some really fancy surround sound system or something that's capable of doing that, but I didn't just hear it. I felt it.
You mean that they were being that vigorous?
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if they caused some structural damage to the walls. They were going so hard. But now that I've brought this up to you, I guess I should let you know that there have been many other times I've seen men who aren't you go into that apartment.
Are you sure about that? You mean that this isn't the first time this has happened?
I'm only telling you the things that I've seen. I'm not trying to make any claims. But, anyways, all this noise making has actually been going on for a few days.
Do you remember exactly how many days? Has it been 4 days?
It's not like I was counting before. But, now that you say 4 days, I think that sounds correct.
You've got to be kidding me. I really just don't know what to say right now.
Are you okay, Tony? I'm really sorry to be the one to have to break the news to you like this. I'm sure as her husband this comes as quite the shock.
No, you shouldn't apologize. You haven't done anything wrong at all. But it's just, well, you're telling me that my wife has been seeing another man. Maybe other men behind my back.
I wonder if the times this has happened before, you were also away on a business trip. But are you still going to finish your work out there?
I suppose so. I only have a few days left out here anyways.
And then what are you going to do when you come back here? If you'd like, I could record what I hear tonight and send it to you as proof.
No, please don't do that. But if you really would like to help, there is something that you can do. Do you mind if I ask you a small favor?
If there is anything that I can do to help you out, please, just let me know. Again, I'm sorry that you had to find out this way. This was not my intention at all.
Thank you so much for saying that. But I think that I have a plan. I'll give you the details soon. Hey there, Trish. How's it going? I was just curious if you had finished with your part-time job for the day.
Oh, hey there, Tony. Yeah, I just finished up, and now I'm just talking to a couple of my coworkers here is all. What about you? Are you done with work for the day already?
Yeah. I actually managed to finish a little early, so I've been free for a minute here.
Oh, great. Well, then it sounds like you'll get to enjoy the rest of the evening relaxing then, right? You know that you don't have to talk to everyone, right? I'm sure that you must be tired and just want to rest, right?
Well, actually, there's something I want to talk to you about. That's why I'm messaging you in the first place.
There's something that you want to talk to me about? Well, what is it? What's on your mind?
Actually, the thing is that I got some really bad news from our neighbor. Do you know what I might be talking about?
I really have no idea what you're talking about. Did something happen to our neighbor?
Well, he told me the other day that he could hear loud sex noises coming from our apartment. He told me that it was during the middle of the night, too. Does that happen to ring any bells for you at all?
Wait a second. You mean that he could hear it all the way from where he lives? You've got to be kidding me.
He said that he could feel the whole apartment shaking when he went outside, thinking about knocking on our door.
Oh my gosh, this is really so embarrassing. I had no idea that he could hear us when we... Well, what on earth am I supposed to say to him the next time I see him in the hallway? Why did he have to come to you about that?
He came to me to talk about it because you were making so much noise and causing a huge disturbance. But you seem to be misunderstanding here. He wasn't talking about us having sex. You see, he texted me because he heard those noises coming from our apartment as recently as yesterday.
Wait a second. He thought that he could hear you and I have sex in our apartment last night?
Weird, isn't it? I almost didn't believe him. I mean, why on earth would it be sounding like you were having sex when I've been away on a business trip for the last few days? Just what have you been getting up to while I've been away from home? Huh? Have you been letting some man into our place?
Tony, please, you can't seriously be asking me that, right? Of course I haven't let anyone into our apartment. Maybe the noises were just coming from the apartment above him or something like that.
No. He was very thorough in double-checking that it was our apartment that had the sounds. He said that he could feel the whole wall shaking in time with... in the rhythm of... I can't even type it! But why were you going so hard? What's the matter with you?
What's the matter with me? I didn't even do anything, and our neighbor is just making up stories that aren't true.
Well, then, I guess we should ask around the building, shouldn't we? We should ask everyone if they were doing anything loud at night so we can track exactly where the noise was coming from.
Are you kidding me? Do you know just how embarrassing that would be for me? You can't just do that.
Well then, I can't think of how else we're going to get to the bottom of this mystery. But, that being said, you should know that I'm on my way home today.
Wait a second. You're coming home today? Is it really already time for you to head back?
That's right. And more than that, I'm actually standing in front of our door right now.
But I don't get it. What about your business trip? I could have sworn that you said you'd be gone for longer.
Well, after explaining to my bosses about what was going on in my own home, they understood and let me go home early. So I caught the first flight home this morning and made my way home from the airport.
You are kidding me. Then, I mean, is this some kind of joke or something? Why are you coming home early from a business trip when you've never ever done that before?
Well, that would be because I hadn't heard of what was happening in our apartment while I was gone before now. But our neighbor was also telling me about how this isn't the first time he's seen men who aren't me going in and out of our place. He actually just texted me not that long ago saying that he saw another strange man. And yet, here I thought that you were at work. So tell me, who is in our apartment right now?
Wait a second. Tony, please, whatever you do, do not go inside our apartment right now.
And why shouldn't I do that, huh? Do you think someone is really in here? I guess I'll just have to find out, won't I?
Please, you can't. What if it's a robber or something? It could be really dangerous. Whatever you do, don't go in.
You think there's a robber in our apartment right now?
I don't know who is in our apartment, but you can't just go bursting in there. What if you get hurt?
You really care about hurting me when you've been letting guys take you into our bed in our apartment and do that with you?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening anymore.
Well, if it is a robber, then I don't think they're here for our valuables. Just my wife. Hey there, Trish. I just wanted to let you know that we caught the robber. So there's nothing to worry about now.
Tony, I thought I told you to not go in the house. I told you to wait until I got back there.
Oh, don't worry. We actually didn't need you. After the guy was caught, we questioned him about what he was doing, and he confessed to everything. The question is, will you?
Please, Tony, I really have no idea who that man is or what he said to you, but that's right. I mean to tell you that I felt like I was being stalked lately. That man must be my stalker. You can't believe whatever he says about me because he's obsessed.
Are you so sure about that? Because he's telling a very different story about you.
I already told you that you can't believe a word that he says about me. Please, you have to believe me.
You know, if you had just been honest with me and admitted what you did, I might have forgiven you. But you're really just going to throw this man under the bus just to cover your own skin?
You mean that you're really not going to trust a single word that I have to say to you?
How can I when this guy recorded more than enough evidence of your affair on his phone? Pictures of dates, pictures of outings. He even told me that you two went out together to buy the clothes that you were buying for me. Here, I thought you were just trying to be nice, but that was only a small part of the mall date that you were on with this guy.
No, wait, Tony, it really isn't like that at all. I was just really trying to shop for you, I swear.
I really don't care what excuses you have for me, so you can just save it.
But, please, I can't lose you. I don't want you to leave me. I never wanted for any of this to happen.
You mean that you never wanted to get caught doing any of this? You've done nothing but lie to me this whole time, and now you're begging for me to stay? I'm just so disappointed in you right now. Do you know that?
Well, I'm sorry, I really am. I never meant for any of this to happen this way, Tony, but I can't lose you. Please don't leave me.
The last thing you're going to get from me is a letter from my lawyer explaining how I'm suing you and him for this affair.
You're not really going to sue me over a little fling like this, are you? You're going to leave and then walk away while I have nothing? How could you do this to me? I thought that you loved me.
I thought I loved you too, until I realized that it was all a lie. By the way, I've already told your parents about this.
You told my parents? Why would you do that? And just how much of it did you tell? Don't tell me you told them about our neighbor hearing me.
That's exactly what I told them about. And you should have seen their faces. They could hardly believe what they were hearing. I told them that I'd come back to them soon with proof of what I was talking about, though.
You're just horrible. You didn't have to do that, you know.
And you don't get to tell me how I should be handling this. You lied to me and manipulated me, and if it wasn't for the kindness of a stranger, then I would have never known about any of this. But I'm gonna bury you for this. After that, both our parents got together and voiced their support for our getting a divorce. After all, they had all the details and knew exactly what kind of a woman Trish really was. During the divorce proceedings, our parents were there as well, and I had never seen Trish's parents so upset. In the end, however, we did get divorced, and Trish and her other man both had to pay me for their affair after the lawsuit. Trish actually had to go deep into debt to pay all of her legal fees. The court worked out a deal between her and her parents to help her pay it all back, though. Trish agreed to go and work for a friend of her dad's at a job where she would be under strict supervision, but which would help her pay off her debt faster. As for me, I sincerely apologized to all of my neighbors before requesting the building to move me into a new unit, so I wouldn't have to sleep where Trish cheated on me. I'm doing my best to get over this, and Sam and I have plans to go fishing sometime next week.